Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings with Loretta and happy, beautiful Monday to all of you. And guess what? Today is National Bucket List Day. Yes, an entire day to remind us that it is never too late to follow your dreams, set new goals, go on a dream vacation, plan a dream vacation, and inspire people around you to live their best life. So, this is my kind of holiday. When I heard about this a couple of weeks ago when we were pitching the show, they were pitching the show idea to me. And so Allie Bank did this amazing survey, and they have the results of that survey talking about, asking Americans about their bucket list and what's on that list. And then, of course, you got to fund that list. And so I'm just really curious, what's on your bucket list? Because, we get so busy living and planning. I think the art of having a bucket list with COVID may have been minimized because when we were in COVID, we had all these plans. Oh, when I can get out, when this country is healthier, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go there and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to start this business. I'm going to. So I'm just curious to know how many people actually accomplished and checked off that bucket list. So Allie did this survey, like I told you, and we're going to talk about that with their senior director of product development for Allie Bank. And if you never heard of Allie Bank, wow, that you're in for a treat. It's almost a class of its own, right? So we're going to have Sonia Fraher with us today to discuss the survey. So it found that nearly 90% of Americans are dreaming big again. And I love that. I love that. From trips to Fiji to skydiving. Anybody out there other than me who does not want to skydive? But I do want to conquer some fears and do things I haven't done. Like I want to learn how to fly fish, right? Who has that on their bucket list? Well, I do. I have learning to fly fish in 2023 on my bucket list. So I'm really curious to know some of the things that are on your bucket list. Sonia will be joining us shortly, but I wanted to come on a little early to just engage with the audience that's watching. Tell me, what are some things on your bucket list? And of course, the things are supposed to be really big and personal, and you have to make an effort to achieve it. So fly fishing is one. I want to go skiing is the second one. I want to take all of my sons on a cruise to some exotic island. How about that? So that's on the bucket list. So Allie is almost here to join. Allie Bank, Senior Director Sonia Fraher is getting ready to join us, and we're super excited about that. So this is going to be a great conversation. Go ahead and share, like, and subscribe to Loretta McNary Show. Thank you for tuning in to Mornings with Loretta. So we're going to talk about the survey as soon as she is ready. And I don't see her, but I do see where they're getting ready to sign on. So like I said, today, April 24th, is National Bucket List Day. Who knew? Who knew? But I'm super excited that there is such a thing as National Bucket List Day. So she is still getting ready. And we have several questions for her. And if you have questions for her as well, why don't you go ahead and put that comment out there? And we'll either see it in the live or we will see it after the live and definitely when this airs. So here she is, everybody. Senior Director, Product Development, Allie Bank. We have Sonia. Hi there. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So I've already been teasing the audience about our subject. Thanks for that survey. Can't wait to hear the results. So what did the survey you conducted reveal about the types of experiences or achievements that were on the respondents' bucket list? I'm very curious.
So at Ally, we're always listening to consumers, trying to figure out, get a pulse check on how they're thinking and feeling in this time of high inflation and high interest rates. And 84% of people have a bucket list, and it's everything from traveling to see friends and family, saving for a dream home, saving for a new car. So there's really so much that people are aspiring to do. Unfortunately, a third of Americans have not made any progress checking things off their bucket list in the last year. And 75% of them say that money is the reason why.
Oh, wow. So how do consumers feel about their budgeting habits and key financial obstacles that they're facing? Were those identified in the survey?
Well, we know that 60% of people would struggle to afford an emergency expense of $1,000 if it happened to them. And so for those people that haven't, built up that savings cushion, they're probably also not making progress against those bigger things on their bucket list. On the spending side, the good news is that most people have an idea of how much they're spending every month. There is a big difference, however, between how much you're spending every month and how much you can afford to spend every month. And that's why budgeting is so important. At Ally, we have developed tools to help with both sides of the equation because we're always listening to our customers and trying to figure out, what their pain points are and how we can help. We launched our savings buckets on our savings account a couple years ago. People have created over 3 million buckets for the things that are most important to them. And we're now proud to announce that we also launched a budgeting tool, Spending Buckets. And that helps you set money aside for the things that you have to cover, like rent or mortgage, groceries, bills, so that you can figure out how much you have left over for some of the more fun stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes you never know how much you have left over, and then you're surprised at the amount, and then sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, I'll never get to this bucket list. But I know if you set money goals, that's a possibility, a strong possibility that you can do your bucket list items. But can you tell us how we need to stay motivated to stay on track with our money goals?
So 2 things I recommend. Number 1, visualize your goal. So in our savings account, you can create buckets. You can also, write it on a Post-it note or just talk about it with other people. But that first step is hugely important. That can be an enormous motivator. And research shows that if you're motivated, you're more likely to stay on track, which is the hard part. The second piece of advice I have is automate as much as you can, so that you don't have to figure out every time I get paid or every month, how much can I set aside? If you can do that once and set it and forget it using digital tools or a system that works for you, you're more likely to make progress. And we know that these tips work because customers who use our savings buckets and boosters save over 2 times more than those who don't.
Wow, 2 times more. That's significant. So you are going to ask you about this question, and you kind of already talked about it, but there are a lot of budgeting tools that are out there available for us right now. So what should we look for in a tool so that we can reach our actual goal? And the other question is, for that tool you just showed us, do we have to already be a customer of Ally Bank to participate in this survey and or the tools that you're sharing? Because I love what I'm seeing. It's visually amazing and motivating.
So, and you just mentioned one thing that's really important is look for something that's easy that you're going to stick with. Look for something that's going to keep you motivated, and look for something that helps you visualize it. So seeing it is going to do that for many people. In our savings and our checking account, we have savings buckets and spending buckets now. You do have to be a customer, but they're sitting right there within your account, along with the other great features that we offer and highly competitive rates. And you can learn more at ally.com/bucket list, as well as see more insights from that bucket list survey that we did.
You have one of the most exciting jobs that I've seen on here in a long time, because you get to do the survey and then create tools based on the respondents' answers to make sure that it is something they can use. Because usually people just tell us, here, hey, use this. You don't care how I feel about it or if it's really answering the need that I have. So I'm really impressed with that. So thank you for that. Can you tell us one more time the website to go to for more information before you leave?
Absolutely. ally.com/bucket list.
ally.com/bucket list. Well, Sonia, thank you so much for coming on Mornings with Loretta, and happy National Bucket List Day. It's actually April 24th, so it's a thing. Thank you for coming on to celebrate with us and then give us some tools to help make our lives easier and better and help us to be able to do those things on our bucket list. Thank you so much, Sonia.
Thank you.
All right. So Sonia is leaving, but I wanted to tell you that Ally Bank, you can go to Ally Bank .com/bucket list to get more information. And whatever tool you use, please use a tool. Life is meant to be lived, because we know you never know what's around the corner, right? But we do know we can plan, and it's easier if you have a plan than if you're scrambling to make things happen. Get that emergency savings account. I am one that can attest to the value and importance of having a emergency savings account. Put it in a separate bank so you don't have access to it every day like you do your normal bank. So, and you can have more than one bank, and it's okay. It's not illegal. So if you're like me, I don't need all my money in the same bank, because my primary bank is where I'm going to pull from all the time. And if I see that money, I'm going to pull it. But if I got to travel somewhere or go to a different website, I have a tendency to not use that money and am able to save that money. That's why a 401k works so well. We don't have everyday access to that money. And that's why it grows and it grows and it grows and grows. And then it's not easy to access. So it makes it even more difficult to get it just because you want it or you feel like you need to purchase something. So that was all I have today in this segment, but we do have more segments that will be joined with this segment. So you know what we say in closing, right? You want to join and say it with me? Think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way. And guess what? We'll see you on the other side of success. Happy National Bucket List Month, everybody.
Your life live today, have your troubles away, maybe learn another way.